Well, hello everyone, what is going on? It's the almighty Geoff, and here at episode 15 of Heavy Rain. In the previous episode, we finished up the game, the main story for the first time anyway. And now this time, what we're going to do is aim to get the perfect crime trophy, as well as many miscellaneous trophies as we can. We're all going to do this in one run. I've already recorded this, obviously, this post. And the first thing that you want to do is start up at Hassan's shop. I just saw that we actually saved the game because we played through this almost as if it's a second playthrough. You need to allow Hassan to die is the first step for the perfect crime. And saying this, just as I said then, in my original series, in my old channel, I did all the miscellaneous trophies first, and then I did the perfect crime afterwards, just showing those bits, whereas this time I've merged the two together.
Time to put in an urgent
so
call
I've just done one consistent playthrough.
Shit, he shot him.
From Hassan's shop to the end of the game. Pick up as many miscellaneous trophies as I can, as well as all the requirements for the perfect crime, which you'll see edited together throughout this video. We didn't manage to pick up every miscellaneous one. We're not, the only ones that we're missing now are...
long enough to look into the eyes of the man who killed my race. Too much anger here.
The ones we're missing are Unforgivable, which is not to forgive Madison, but you need to forgive Madison for the trophy, the perfect crime, and So Close, which is to get to the old warehouse with everyone and fail. Both of them we will be getting in the next episode, which is the all endings. Both of those decisions are required for that whilst we're going through those trophies. So obviously that was the first one. This is Nathaniel. This isn't required for the perfect crime, but obviously this is the first miscellaneous trophy we came up to. Whereas in the original guide we controlled Nathaniel to drop his weapon, this time we're just gonna shoot him. Simple as that.
I shot him.
Yep. Looks like you did.
I mostly included any change in dialogue afterwards,
Come on,
rather than
let's
just
go.
showing exactly what to do every time. So yes, that's the second part of the playthrough that was different from the first time. This time is we're going for the coward trophy during the second trial. Again, this isn't required for the perfect crime, it's just to gain the trophy as we're making our way forward. So yeah, if you're playing through the game and intending to get all the trophies, make sure you do make these changes. Everything that you don't see in the video is, I assume, you're just going to do the same thing as we did in the original playthrough, but make sure that you do. Any significant difference, any significant similarity that is required for the perfect crime trophies also included in this video that we already did in the normal series, such as cleansing Manfred's shop or forgiving Madison. Anyway, this is the bad cop trophy, which was during Shrink and Punches, where we got good cop for stopping Blake from beating up Dupree. This is us allowing him to beat up Dupree. I just included this little bit at the end showing him his bloodied face. You just don't intervene at all and you'll get the trophy. It is pretty simple.
Ethan Mars
Most of them are, to be honest.
Problems since his first son died.
But this monologue is exactly the same,
Sort of morbid.
whether you intervene or not. But of course you guys already probably
He's
know that.
haunted by visions of drowning bodies. A few weeks ago, after one of our usual sessions, I found this on the floor. It must have fallen out of his pocket.
So by following the decision that we're doing this time, not all of them are required for the perfect crime, but all of them will help in allowing us to do the all endings a lot quicker without having to go as far back. Now this one is obviously back to the lizard, which is the third trial, and there was a second method you could take allowing you to get the butcher trophy. Now to do this you can't use any disinfectants or anything, you just need to use either the saw or the scissors. Now I ended up going to the wrong sink this time. This is just one to wash your face, so but obviously you saw the saw was on the floor next to the table, whereas the scissors are in the other sink, the one that's in the bathroom. Use either one of those to cut off your finger and you'll get that one. Now whilst I was going through this playthrough, we completed 3 out of the 5 trials. The other 2 had multiple choice that we took the other option for. So obviously you've seen one with the second trial where we took the coward's way out instead. So obviously we won't have all the letters for the hangman, and there's also the one with the drug dealer as well, where we ensured that we didn't kill him this time. But you'll see the consequences of that later on. It's still very possible to save Sean, and it actually gets us one of the other trophies that we were missing. So just make sure, just do the old breathing thing, cocks up on that one, but it doesn't really matter. As soon as you get the option to do it, just, you know, do it. Now obviously, for the squeamish, I've already given this warning whilst we were doing the chapter during the live playthrough. Skip this one. But you're here for a reason. And there we go. Oh, nasty. The worst part of the fact is that he doesn't even cut the whole thing off. You've still got to carry on doing it after what you think is the end of the pain. So yeah, nasty trophy, nasty trophy. So this video, you might notice the length of it, like really, it's this long. It is including the special endings that we get with this one for the perfect crime as well, so... And there we go. There we go again. Oh, nasty, nasty. But yeah, so that would take us up to, I think, 6 of the endings. Now this is a Fugitive, where we have to escape with Ethan. Now, there are 3 good things that come from allowing Ethan to be arrested. One is the trophy that comes with it, which is called Fugitive, I think, or Hands Up, I think it's called. It also opens up the Under Arrest chapter, which allows us to get another trophy, and it's also required for the perfect crime for Ethan to be arrested for the first time. And I think it also impacts the all endings thing. If we do this now and save over it, it means we don't have to go as far back once we're doing the all endings trophy next time. It is all very complicated stuff trying to get our head around all this, but if you make all the decisions that are done in this video, it'll mean that when we're doing the all endings trophy, you won't have to go any further back than On the Loose. This is in the Under Arrest chapter. I was originally going to show the entire chapter, but I didn't have a lot of time on my hands. So...
Gary, you can take a break. I'll keep an eye on it.
So I've just included the part
Actually, I was busting for a piss.
where the trophy is unique.
If you need to adjust his handcuffs, the keys are on my desk.
So this is in the second part of Under Arrest. The first part is when you actually interrogate him, and then you go on the trip where you do all the clues, like in the original playthrough, and then in the second part of it, you go in, tell the security guard to go, and then turn the camera off for the Wise Guy trophy. Now this is obviously the Manfred, which we actually did in the game. Also playing through it, we have to wipe away all of the clues, all of the fingerprints in this chapter. So you need to use you need to do the 2 phones, that one and the one that's behind the counter, the 2 whiskey glasses, the whiskey bottle, the magnifying glass, and the whatchamacallit, the little music box that Lauren was playing with, and then I think it's just the door, and then after that is all you need to do. If you do this mission, do the particular chapter without doing anything else other than what is required of you, obviously. If you decide to like use the bathroom or something like that, you'll need to wipe down your fingerprints on the bathroom door and stuff like that, so just be careful. But if you're just going through it doing exactly what is the basic minimal requirement for this mission, this is all the stuff that you'll need to do without being detected by the police. I know, waffling on a bit there, but yeah. They're quite a few and far between the requirements for the perfect crime at this point. When you get close to the end of the game is when quite a few back-to-back things occur. So, but just make sure that you're picking up all these little bits as you're playing through.
Are you gonna be much longer? The police will be here any second.
I'm almost finished.
But yeah, this definitely took a long time to record all this. I think it was about 3 hours worth of time to play through the game from Hassan's shop all the way to the old warehouse again. So, don't say I don't. I'm not devoted to you guys. And that's it. That should be all the
That's it. We're done.
You get all the prints?
fingerprints. Yeah. I said that should be. It was all the fingerprints, because I did end up getting the trophy in the end, so...
I got what I got. It should be enough to prevent them from finding us. Come on, let's go.
Yep. And there we go. So obviously you won't see the perfect crime trophy until you finish the old warehouse This is the I'm not a killer trophy.
I'm a father too. But I'm no killer.
There you go. Simple as that, really. So that's the second of the five trials that we didn't complete. And like I said, we'll get back to the consequences for that. Now, this is a requirement for the perfect crime. You need to start your relationship with Madison and also forgive her, and then escape from the
I'm
police.
sorry, Ethan.
Um,
I'm so...
Actually, I think all these are required just to, oh yeah, and escape the police. Required just to make the all endings trophy that little bit easier. Obviously, I was a bit quick with interactions there. This is the next major step in the perfect crime trophy. You need to let Lauren die. So when you get to the point in the game, I think it's Trapped, the chapter's called, when you're trapped in the sinking car, you need to escape on your own and not cut Lauren free either. So basically all you gotta do is exactly as we did in the main guide, just cut yourself free, just do everything without undoing Lauren's ropes, and then you'll end up leaving on your own. But yeah, make sure you definitely do this. It's probably the first major game change from the original series. But yeah, whereas ordinarily we'd get the swimming instructor trophy for allowing Lauren to go to, well, releasing Lauren. This time you gotta escape on your own. Simple as that, really. And Lauren shall drown, unfortunately. But that is that. Now, immediately into the next chapter is where we go next, where we allow Charles Kramer to die rather than give him his medicine.
Quickly! I need my pills. In that drawer.
So, as ordinarily back in the series where we actually give him the heart pills for the kind-hearted trophy, I think it was called, you've just got to leave this time.
Shelby! Come back! I fucking order you! Come back!
There you go, simple as that, really. So the next one is, as I was talking about before, if you don't complete at least one of the trials, that's all it takes. One trial, but we ended up doing it with two. You are put into this little scene after the rat. So after whether you've taken the poison or you've left the poison, this is what will occur afterwards if you don't do one of the trials, where Ethan's got to figure out the address on his own. And this is
I'm nowhere and I'm out of time.
how you get the clever dad trophy.
Shitty letters from this fucking address. Come on! There's gotta be a way to do this.
So you just got to.
Several different addresses fit these letters. God, they're scattered all over the city. I don't have time to check them all.
You just got to basically pick the right address. Now, the more trials that you do, the more limited the options become. Like I think it just cuts down to 3 options if you do 4 out of 5 trials. But the one that you want, regardless, is 852 Theodore Roosevelt Road, I think it is, the one that's closest to the docks. So if you listen closely, you can hear like seagulls and foghorns and stuff. Yeah, and so that gives you a clue that it's obviously near the water. So there's only one of them that is near the water. So that's the big clue into finding Sean, which is 852 Theodore Roosevelt Road.
I may only have time for one address. If Sean's not there, I'm done. It's a crapshoot.
Yep. It is the correct option though, so we'll take off and then you'll know you picked the right one if it just cuts to fade and then the next achievement starts. Now this is another major part in the trophy, the perfect crime. You need to allow Madison to die in Killer's place, which is the second to last chapter. Basically step in the flames and she'll catch on fire. Don't enable any of the Q2Es, and unfortunately let Madison burn. And then blows up. Now this is the final part. In the old warehouse, the only ones who should be left now are Ethan and Jaden. Jaden should obviously still find the address and locate Sean. You need to allow Norman to die in this chapter, so just put your control down, don't do any of the Q2Es, let Scott kill Jaden on the conveyor belt. We've cut out all the boring crap about Ethan giving Sean CPR, because obviously we've already seen that in the original playthrough. You didn't need to see it twice, but here we go. A night, Jaden. So this is what happens, obviously. Scott wins the battle and goes on to live another day, while Jaden falls into the crunch of it. Which is sad, because the first time he survived it back in Mad Jack, if you remember. If you obviously don't take the tripto and then you pass out and then Jack puts you in the car. But there you go. And then I end up cutting back to the end of Ethan's segment, which somehow he doesn't get shot by the police in this one, which he ordinarily would do if it was just him on his own. So I don't see how Norman being alive and then dying changes that at all, but it just cuts to fade here rather than him going out and then having this confrontation with the police. But that is how you get the perfect crime trophy, as you'll see popping up here. Now all that is left now is the perfect crime endings. So I'm going to end the commentary here, and I shall see you in episode 16, where we will cover the remainder of the endings. So I'll see you guys then. Bye bye.
It is no doubt due to his great courage and tenacity that he succeeded in foiling the plans of the origami killer. The police commissioner presented him with an official apology today. Our main headline today: it is reported that the police have identified the man thought to be the origami killer. Scott Shelby, 48, is a former police lieutenant who claimed to be a private eye hired by the families of the killer's victims. Despite a citywide manhunt, Shelby has not yet been apprehended. Police are now mounting a nationwide operation in an effort to arrest him. In a related tragedy, it was learned that the investigation has cost the life of Madison Page, a young reporter covering the origami killer story. Unfortunately, the investigation has cost the life of Norman Jaden, the FBI profiler working on the case. Jaden was killed while trying to arrest the origami killer in circumstances that remain unclear. A full police investigation is pending.
Is this where we're gonna live now?
Only if you really, really want to. Or we can keep on looking until we find something you like.
It doesn't matter where we live, as long as we're together.
I will never let anyone or anything separate us again. We're stuck with each other, kiddo. Like glue.
Can I choose what my room is?
Sure thing, champ.
Alright, then I think we can stay here.
Journalist Madison Page was laid to rest in Charity Cross Cemetery today. Her heroic death while investigating the disappearance of Sean Mars has made a lasting impression on the whole country. Colleagues from the press are united in paying tribute to this courageous journalist who sacrificed her life in the search for truth. I'm Brittany Sanders for ICN.
Okay, Brittany, it's a wrap.
Great. Let's get out of here. All those hokey clapcaps made me hungry.
He's being buried in 2 days in some godforsaken hole in the back end of beyond near Washington. I have to attend as a matter of protocol.
I'll pass. Jane and I didn't see eye to eye on much.
No problem. I understand.
Hey, sir, I still have his glasses. What should I do with them?
Well, you won't be needing them again. Do whatever you want with them.